Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Mortal Realms painting video. This time painting up that Lord Executioner that we got not long ago from the Nighthaunt range with a magazine with issue 24, I think it was. But before we jump into it, as per usual, if you like these videos, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and drop a comment down below. Let me know how you're getting on, how you painted up your current models. If you're enjoying the series, if you're not enjoying it, what you like about it, what you don't like about it, it's all good, and every comment is welcomed, and I do try to get back to everybody as soon as I possibly can. Now, I suppose we should just jump into this video. It's a fairly easy paint job, it's quite nice, quite quick, quite easy, so let's crack on. So, I'm starting off with those ghosts that should be on the back of the model as well, so which I'm using X-Ray Flame over a base coat of white, standard kind of spray paint really. This is just a cheap spray paint from Wilko's. It's cheap, nice white primer. Very handy to have. The X-Ray Flame, I just literally used one coat of it, and then onto the main model itself. So I'm painting it in segments, so using a Baden Black for that Executioner's hood. Paint the inside as well. It looks a lot better if you're painting the inside, so if you haven't stuck it all together you can get into it quite easily. And then over that X-Ray Flame on those skulls, I'm just going back over with some Vallejo white grey paint, just dry brushing it across. It makes everything stand out a little bit better. You can do this as heavy as you want or as light as you want, it doesn't matter. Then I'm using some good old Nighthaunt Gloom for the lower part of the robes for this Spectre. This will take a couple of coats because it looks very thin and very patchy, so you need a couple of good coats of that to get it looking right. And then I dry brushed over that as well, so it makes life a lot easier if you're dry brushing stuff. Makes it look a bit more ethereal and has a good effect. The only thing I didn't want to do is go over that Baden Black. Then for the wood, I'm cheating, I'm using one of the contrast paints, which is Wildwood. Over white, it dries very nicely, and gets all that depth into the woodwork itself. If you want to add little flares to it, literally, just use a bit of like a green shade or something like that, or a bit of green paint to kind of change it a little bit. And then for the metalwork of the axe head, what I did, I used Ironbreaker. The bog standard really for kind of dark metals. It's a great paint, very easy to work with as long as you're painting over dark surfaces. Painting over a light surface, it doesn't take very well, so which is why the X-Head was painted with Wildwood. And then while I'm waiting for all of that to dry properly, I used Wraithbone over the rope section, so the rope that's holding it, the kind of the gallows to the back of the Executioner, and for that rope, the noose that hangs down from the gallows. And then to darken all that metal area, use some Nuln Oil. Yeah, you can't use enough Nuln Oil. You can't kind of use too little of it really. It's one of them weird ones. There is no right or wrong with Nuln Oil, it just depends on your preference and how you want your models to look. And then I'm using Skeleton Horde over the Wraithbone sections now that that's dry. It settles very well and looks very good for ropes and bandages, as well as the usual skulls as well. Cool, now that they're painted up, I'm painting up their arms and those hands, which I'm just using good old Deepkin Flesh for this. It's fairly easy, it looks quite mottled. You could use Witch Flesh if you wanted to, or you could use good old Iron Rack Skin as well. That'll work very well. Or if you wanted to, you can use normal flesh tones. It's entirely up to you how you want to paint your models. And then to paint up that kind of flame, I wanted to have a different look. I didn't want to use Hexwraith, so what I used was good old Griff Charger Grey. It has a very weird complexion because it's contrast paint. I just used one coat. It kind of layers over quite nicely over the flatter areas. It goes quite thin and it goes quite dark into all those recesses, and it works very, very well for this kind of model. So that's it. Very quick, very easy. This Lord Executioner's dusted. You can join the rest of the Nighthaunt horde that is going on with this magazine. Yeah, to be honest, it'll fit in quite nicely as well because they are very individual, these champions, but it does exactly what I wanted it to do. Right then, that's it from me today. Nice quick easy video, and quite quick easy paint job. As I say, if you want to add some more flair to this as well, over where the Executioner's hood is, dry brush over some Mechanica Standard Grey and then go back over it with Norn oil. It gets this nice little effect where you can see some of the detail, but then it dulls some of the detail back down, and looks very dark and grim as well. And of course, if you wanted to, you can always add Blood for the Blood God to the blade, or you can do something along those lines if you wanted to, some rust marks to it, anything like that. It all works very, very well, looks very, very nice, and then it's just a case of making sure that that base looks pretty decent for the remainder of the model and fits in with the rest of your army. Right then, not too bad one today. As I say, if you like these videos, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel and drop a comment down below. It's greatly appreciated, and I will see you soon. Bye bye now.